And a great February, middle of the month. Welcome to Plate Exchange. I am Steve, a member of On the Ring Apron, subsidiary group of the Mania Club and our Champions of Hope Foundation. Thank you so much for choosing to join me on what is a rare week off for me. Normally, I don't spend a ton of time stepping away from various works and whatnot, but actually getting an opportunity to take some time for myself. Mental health, important, as everyone knows. But taking the time to really, posture myself and to, get an opportunity to step away from work for a little bit and get a chance to kind of refresh myself, as well as also get ready for things that are coming up. For those of you who are not aware, we do live near Atlanta. Of course, we've got Monday Night Raw coming up this upcoming Monday. Don't y'all fret none. The Mania Club sign will be in full force over the course of that day, so it'll find its way over there. So be on the lookout for it. We've got a couple of meet and greets in Atlanta before that. But be on the lookout if you're going to be heading to State Farm Arena. Make sure you stop in, say hey, watch for the sign. Easy enough to find. Also, taking the time in this episode to introduce our new belts. That's why you're here. We do have 3 new sets of champions, one of which we did mention in our last episode is the Samoan Tag Team Dominance appears to be rearing its head again in WWE, as we have the MFTs as new champions over on SmackDown, as well as the Usos holding the championships on Raw. And we also, of course, have a new NXT champion. Say his name, and he'll win a title. But let's get to it. Let's get to our first of our plate exchanges for this episode. Before we get started, though, I do want to make sure we take the time to thank our sponsor, as they have been for the last little bit, W Energy, a special energy drink that allows you to be able to get that little bit of boost that you need without necessarily feeling the horrible crash behind it. Available in different things. You've got it in cream form. You've got it in powdered form, which is what I use. It has been doing wonders for me. My energy level has been fantastic. Comes in about a dozen different flavors. Does contain coffee fruit extract, but an excellent opportunity. I like the orange flavor. It was one that I wasn't really big on when I first got started, I'll admit, but it's grown on me over time, and now I find myself enjoying that just as equally as I do any of the other flavors. But you see a little ad go across the bottom. I'll drop it in from time to time, but you do have an opportunity to be able to help us keep our lights on. You think those belt shelves keep themselves lit up on their own? Of course not. But you can go to w.gg and put in the promo code OTRA, OTRA, and you'll get 10% off your order. Helps us to be able to keep the lights on while also at the same time helping to promote an up-and-coming business. And also at the same time, we do give part of our proceeds to the Mania Club that for all of the things that we do bring in. So, take the time to support us, support W, and an opportunity to be able to give your love and your TME, if you will, to a number of good things. But thank you, W, for again sponsoring us, and we will now move on to our first exchange. So our first exchange of this episode is going to come over, as we said, from Friday Night SmackDown, the Blue Brand. As once again, we are starting to see almost an embarrassment of riches once again heading to the Samoan dynasties, as the new WWE Tag Team Champions are that of the MFTs, led by Solo Sikoa. This is the 5th consecutive time that the tag team titles have been switched hands, on a Friday Night SmackDown. They're very rarely ever defended on a premium live event, but it tends to be one of the best battles, as for quite some time now, there has been a statement that the best tag team division, at least on the men's side, exists on SmackDown. You see our new champions, the MFTs, ending a 196-day run of the Wyatt Six, not only taking the tag team titles, but also taking the lantern from Uncle Howdy, the representation of his lost brother, Bray Wyatt. Obviously, that is not going to go unanswered, and you're starting to see the Wyatt Six getting ready to rebuild themselves back into a storyline, whether that's going to lead to a match at WrestleMania or potentially earlier than that, not really sure. But currently, the MFTs have held the championship for closing in on a month now, and they finally got their plates on the last episode of SmackDown that we just had a couple of days ago. So we will have an opportunity to present them here. So as we do with each of our exchanges, we do have an opportunity first to present the previous champions. As you can see, I'm not using my office today, but we do have the tag team champions, and our previous champions were the Wyatt Six. Very nice set of plates. They are available on WWE.com, shop.com. So these are ones where you can actually pick these up yourself now. We were given an early version of them, but now we have an opportunity to be able to take those off of here. So the first thing we're going to do is congratulate the Wyatt Six on their nearly 200-day reign as champions. And now we will begin the exchange to put on the title plates of the new champions, the MFTs. And so with that, our Wyatt Six plates have been removed. A good chance to take one look at those real quick, get you a nice view of each of these. They're both the same on each side. I'll give you a little zoom in here of what those look like. Very well designed. Definitely one of the better ones that I think we've been given the blessings of being able to have in our possession. And I've got a feeling I think these won't be the last time that we're going to see the Wyatt Six holding championship gold. The only question is now, do they go for Uncle Howdy getting singles gold, or do they continue to try to run the tag division? But that does, as I said, bring an end to their run. And now over here in our new box that came in here, put the Wyatts back where they're supposed to go here. But that is, as we said, the new tag team champions over on SmackDown. That is the MFTs, and their plates now readily available here as well. Let me get you a decent look at those. Not anything too spectacular. It's just their standard MFT logo. I do like the fact that they kept the kind of like little Samoan type of writing and keeping kind of the logo very esque. Let me see if I can get that in there a little closer, but giving you an opportunity to be able to kind of see the I don't know how to word it, kind of the writing or the, I don't know. I'm blanking right now. This is what happens when you do things on stream, is you can't think of your words sometimes, but they kind of left the little, the imaging in there to kind of give off that Samoan timeline as well. But I really do like the way that these look in particular. So Wyatt Six out, MFTs back in control. Let's go ahead and get these on our belt. And with that, our exchange is complete here. Our plates now donning the tag team championships. Let me go ahead and bring this up here. But the tag team gold now in the hands of the MFTs. I'll give you a decent look around both sides here, but the MFT plates guarding it. You can go onto all of our social medias. We're on Facebook, Instagram, X, Twitch, a number of places where you can get an opportunity to get a better look at these. I know the camera I'm using on this older laptop, not what I normally use in my office, so the quality's not quite as great today, but an opportunity to be able to get a good look at those, if you please. But that is one of our plates down. The Samoan Dynasty, however, in the tag team division doesn't end there. Let's shift over to Monday Night Raw, where another pair of Samoans, those who are a little more used to tag team dominance, have once again reigned supreme over on the red brand. Moving into our second of three exchanges in this relatively short episode, we do go back to the red brand, and that is going to be the World Tag Team titles now in the hands of Jimmy and Jay, the Usos, winning the tag team titles on the final episode of Monday Night Raw of 2025. The last title change, as the title would change hands 4 times, taking over the tag team division on Monday Night Raw and taking it from the hands of Dragon Lee and the now retired AJ Styles in what would ultimately be the final championship of AJ Styles' illustrious, no doubt first ballot Hall of Fame career. AJ, of course, getting that moment very similar to John Cena winning the Intercontinental Championship, completing the Grand Slam run for him, as he had been missing a tag team reign up to that point. It's Dragon Lee that ultimately teams with him and gets him that tag team championship. A great moment for Lee as he gets his first championship on the main roster as well, and does it with a legend in that of AJ Styles. You see that storyline continuing to develop between Dragon Lee and Gunther, who, of course, Dragon has had problems with. Dragon just costing Gunther a chance to qualify for Elimination Chamber. So no doubt a receipt is coming, but we'll see how that story goes. But in the meantime, it's been the Usos that have been running the tag division. Only one defense up to this point. It was against the Alpha Academy. Of course, we all know what's going on. You know, I proudly represent my girl Naomi right now with my world champion shirt, but obviously Big Jim spending some time at home as Naomi has reportedly been running into some complications. So, you know, we wish her all the best. Of course, you know, we love you. We want to see you at your best, you know, and want to make sure that everybody, including baby Oos, is going to be here and hopefully be joining us soon. So we look forward to that. But they're tag team champions once again, another record-breaking moment and another Samoan tag team. So let's go ahead and get to getting their plates on this belt. As is the case with all of ours, the first thing we do is we like to acknowledge the previous champions on our World Tag Team Championship belt. And as we said, that was the phenomenal AJ Styles on one side, and then the first championship belt of Dragon Lee winning the championship on the other side, getting his first taste of main roster gold after he did hold the NXT North American Championship for a little while. He infamously is the one who dropped it to Obafemi to start his historic run a couple of years ago on NXT. But the final plate exchange that will involve the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, tribute show coming up ready for Atlanta here this week. And then we will put on our new Usos plates. So the first thing, let's get these off. And that completes the removal of their plates. One more look here. We got a chance to show these off here on the belt itself, but you can see AJ Styles' plates on here. His have been set for a while. He did have a customized fully black and gray version that was made as well, but we went with our classic blues for his one. And then the Dragon Lee plates on the other side, giving him his first taste of main roster gold. But both of them previously holding the tag team titles. Let me get my fat finger out of the way so that way we can give AJ his proper due. But that ends their run as the champions. And then in a surprise, despite the fact that they have won now double-digit tag team championships, you actually have the very first side plates of the Usos going onto our plates. They're exactly the same on each side, but the Usos logo, again, using that same thing with the MFTs, keeping the Samoan type of text look, as well as Jimmy and Jay being written across the bottom. As I record this, it's reversed, so it looks odd from my side, but I'm pretty sure that it sets up right, and if it's not, I'll correct it in editing. But this will be their first runs having their own sets of side plates. So let's go ahead and get these on our belt. And with that, our exchange here is complete. And we have the new Raw World Tag Team Champions. And as we said, that is Jimmy and Jay, the Usos, despite the fact that they have had multiple tag team title runs throughout their career, first ballot Hall of Famers when they're done, just like AJ Styles as well. But this is the first time that they have been able to don a set of side plates, despite their record undisputed tag team title run a few years ago as part of the Bloodline story. So they will don the World Tag Team titles for as long as they hold the championships. We'll see how long that continues to go, especially with their cousin Roman Reigns is getting a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania here in a couple of weeks. So it'll be curious to see if we might see another Bloodline World Champion, Tag Team Champion run, as that storyline looks like it might be on its way to starting back up again with a new set of competitors. But again, go to our social medias if you want to get a closer look. And with this, we will move into our final exchange. And at this stage, it is over on the gold brand of NXT, where now if you want a new champ, all you have to do is say his name, Joe Hendry.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Cause they love him in London and Paris and Tokyo, America, Scotland and Canada and Mexico. They say I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry is so prestigious. Wave your hands from side to side and say, oh, I believe in Joe Hendry. In Joe Hendry and the prestigious one.
And giving us every opportunity, sorry, my mic was muted, to once again say his name, and he appears and now is holding NXT Championship Gold for the first time, and it's the big title nonetheless. Yes, sir, that is Joe Hendry, the former TNA World Champion, now holding the NXT Championship. He won it by my standard a little over 2 weeks ago after the vacating of the title by now main roster soon-to-be signee Oba Femi, winning back the championship from Ricky Saints, defending it against Leon at NXT Deadline, at New Year's Evil, he Deadline's where he won it, and then inevitably dropping the championship on that same episode, January 6th. We'd have to wait a month to get a new champion, and in a 7-man ladder match, Joe Hendry would take over the championship. We will go ahead and zoom in here. Because of Oba Femi's relinquishment of the championship, there isn't any plates on here, so we can see we are back to our generic NXT plates. If you want to see the Oba Femi plates, there are plenty of episodes we have where you can have an opportunity to be able to see those. But we do have the generic side plates at the moment. And we'll go ahead and crack open the box that we got. This is definitely one that we were very grateful to get our hands on. Joe wasting no time showing those off right after he won the championship. And it is our Joe Hendry side plates, the nice little Joe Hendry with the JH square logo that we've all come to know and love, gracing the bottom of it. So we will have an opportunity to put those on. So with that, we're going to remove the generic plates and crown our new champion here in our main event of this episode, and that is the prestigious one, Joe Hendry. And with that, our final plate exchange for this episode is complete. And as we said, we do have the new plates on our title, the NXT champion, now in the hands of the prestigious one, Joe Hendry. His side plates now donning our championship belt. Very good look. Congratulations to Joe, getting himself his first championship since joining WWE officially. He had a few shots at it, including one we got a chance to see live in Denver, but he was not able to succeed back then, but is successful in doing so now, and now holds the new NXT championship. And with that, it does bring it into our plate exchange episode for this particular period of time. Again, shout out to Dubby, our official sponsor, energy drink, giving you all the energy and power that you need to kind of get past that 2 to 3 o'clock midday hangover, but without that nasty little side effect of the energy crash at the end. Again, one more time at the bottom, our promo code going down. You can go to w.gg and place in your order. They've got a lot of fun flavors. They've got mixers. They've got cups that you can put them into, workout bottles, etc. Everything that you might need. Use the promo code OTRA, O-T-R-A. Get 10% off your order. It helps keep our show going. We do provide part of our proceeds to Mania Club and the Champions of Hope Foundation. A big shout out to them for everything that they continue to do. Our household this time of year, typically a lot busier. Kids getting back in school. We also have some things going on, of course, as anybody does within our household, but also some fun things that we are trying to build ourselves up to. Anybody that has been on our social media has seen that we've got some big announcements that are getting ready to come up here in the next few days. But you'll also notice that I'm using this platform, to kind of help to build up people that, might be struggling. You never know what somebody's going through. And I always try to end any of the plate exchange episodes with just a little message on behalf of us. You never know what somebody's experiencing behind the scenes. You don't know what's going on at home. You don't know what's going on at work. You don't know what their spouses are going through, their kids are going through, their parents, their children. You just don't know. And sometimes it's not easy to ask. My heart's heavy today, especially. I'm recording this on Wednesday, the 18th. And it was 1 year ago today that I lost my grandfather. He was the first of my grandparents to pass away. I would lose my grandmother, his wife, about 3 months later. So I ended up losing two grandparents last year. I'm still blessed with the fact that my other two are still alive and are healthy at this time. But that was really the first significant loss I've had since I lost my uncle nearly 20 years ago. So today, my heart is heavy. I feel for myself, my family, my father, especially, who lost his father on this day. So it's real cliche sometimes to sit here and say, take the time to hug your family, take the time to hug a loved one, make sure you tell them that everything's going to be okay. And yes, it's cliched to say that, but also it takes 5 seconds. Find the time, find that moment. I know sometimes, especially when it comes to men, sometimes it's real easy to be in this world where you're supposed to be macho and buff and you're not supposed to, talk about those kinds of things. We've got to be willing to see past that very outdated stereotype, that outdated expectation that men are supposed to not be emotional. And this message isn't just for men, it's for women too. Take the time to say what you need to say, express how you need to feel, because first of all, it's going to make you feel a lot better, but also there may be people that are on each respective side that maybe can help you or can give you a kind word or can give you a helping hand, but maybe they don't know, or maybe they're just worried about trying to maybe overstep and they don't want to ask. End of the day, that's kind of what this message is about. And on so many fronts, that's one of the biggest things I love about Mania Club. It is 200,000 plus strangers, and yet we all are united into a single cause. I'm very blessed to be part of the 1 or 2% that gets to actively represent Mania Club on such a regular basis, to be one of the bearers of the Mania Club sign. So watch for us in Atlanta this upcoming Monday. I would have said Tuesday in NXT, but they canceled the show, so I'm a little bit sad about that. But also at the same time, using our platform not just to promote change in terms of providing our time, money, energy towards, the different causes that we provide for, but also taking the time to also use our platforms to enact change and to enact emotional positivity. And that is one of the parts that I love ending these shows on, is I like taking a couple of minutes just to say, look out for one another. Take the time to smile, take the time to take care of yourself, because today my heart is heavy, but a year later, yes, I'm sad that my grandfather's gone, but also I use this time to remember the great moments, to remember the lessons he taught me, to remember the things that he showed me, the things that he taught me over his years of life and has made me and kind of molded me into the man I am today. A lot of what I am as a man, a husband, a father, a best friend, they all come from him. And so I try to use this day not as a day of just mourning, but as a day to remember just what a great man John Knoll was to me. And, everyone else may know him, by a bunch of different names. I knew him as Granddaddy. And that's the person I'm going to remember today. And I'm going to make sure that I hug my children. I'm going to hug my friends. I'm going to hug my wife when she comes home, because it's on days like this where you have to remember what's important. And that is life, the people you get to spend your time with. And I'm not going to regret that. And I'm not going to lose sight of that. But either way, take the time, love your family, love your friends, and continue to keep being positive. Find ways to smile every day and never feel like you are ever such a burden or ever such a feeling to where you cannot reach out. Anybody who even doesn't even know me, even if you're watching my show for the first time, if you just need somebody to listen to you, just need a listening ear, shoot me a message. I don't mind. I'll talk to anyone and anyone that's willing to to put their voice out there. But with that, that's going to end our plate exchange episode. New champions, the MFTs holding the WWE tag titles, the Usos holding the world tag titles, and Joe Hendry, our new NXT champion. With that, I'll say goodbye to everybody. Continue to be safe out there, and watch out for the Mania Club sign on Monday for Monday Night Raw. Take it easy, guys.